Hello and welcome to I Am Worthy of Me. My name is Alita. Welcome to my fourth video. So as you can see, it's a little different to where I'm usually at on my previous videos. That's because I'm in my hometown. Welcome to my hometown. Alright, so I'm gonna grab my laptop and alright, let's do it. So, as you can see, I am actually in my hometown right now and in my house. I'm currently in my house to visit my family for a few days. I've actually decided to come this time specifically for this topic. Hang on, let me just shut the door because it's a little noisy outside. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, currently it's 1:30 and almost 1:30. As you can see from this topic, I've decided to share with you guys a little story that has taught me a massive lesson for this past few years, and I really hope that it can help you, because on this title, as you can see, it actually really worked, and it's insane how different my life was, like looking back like a year ago, coming home, and now with the same person but a totally different mindset. In this hometown was where I learned the most important challenges of my life, where I come to realization that forgiveness is actually giving me freedom. You know, so many people may not notice that forgiveness actually creates new doors and opportunities in your life. And if you ask me, how did forgiveness really create that opportunity? It is because you no longer hold on to that victim mentality for everything that's happened to you that are outside of your control, but you've come to a realization that things that have happened to you can actually be a strength to who you are today. And seeing that, I mean, saying it seems so easy, but doing it is so difficult. I mean, it took me 12 years to actually come to that realization. But when you do come to that realization, it is absolutely life-changing. And by this point, you start to realize that, you know, no one in this world is responsible for your happiness but you. Not your parents, not your family, not your siblings, not your partner, nobody. But you are your own responsibility of your own happiness and choices. When I was 11 years old, I moved from Australia to Indonesia, and I was so excited to come home. However, home was not exactly what I expected to be. Let's just say I experienced reverse culture shock. So reverse culture shock is when you feel like home is no longer like your home, and you feel so strange and alienated in your own customs and even in your own home. Imagine being a teenager and feeling like you've never fit in, where you feel lonely and you feel stressed and you feel like it's not where you're supposed to be or where you thought you'd be. I literally felt that. And I had a reverse culture shock with my own customs, with my own culture, even with my food, that I ended up being hospitalized after 3 months of moving back home. Things that kept me alive throughout school was activities that I enjoyed, like English club, the dance team, and also storytelling or theatrical acting.
Went down to the beach and met his dad. Hi, Daddy! I'm going to make... So, he was so panicky. This really big noise coming. They looked directly at the ocean. Then they saw this really big water coming up
and the reason why I really enjoy those activities is because I really found that as my hobbies, but also where I found small group of friends because we shared the same interest. But for the schools and stuff, it was so difficult for me to fit in. You know, I've always wanted to have a group of friends throughout my teen years. You know, lots of parties and cute boys, and all that teen stuff, all that teen lovey. I mean, I grew up watching Hannah Montana and High School Musical, so that's what I expected my teen life would be like. Let's just say it didn't really turn out the way I planned it. But those things didn't happen for me, and I guess that's why I've always wanted to move abroad and move to the Western culture, because I really wanted to experience, the fun, the youth, and celebration of, being a young teen girl. Experiences that hurt you as a child make you believe that that's the reality of life. That's why when you see people behave a certain way, it's because of certain issues that they faced as a child. But when in reality it's not. We actually get a choice of how you want to view things, and you can. Where you want to do things, you can. But it's because it's so stuck in our mind or in our basic perceptions, because it happened when we were kids. We start to believe that that's the reality when it isn't. Those experiences made me bury my extrovert personality. It made me bury my hobbies and really listening to what I want, because I was focusing so much on wanting to leave that all I could think about is leaving my country. But I didn't really listen to what I actually want in life, or the things that I want to do, because I was so stuck up into thinking that everything like that will be the same in Indonesia. I remember when I moved to Jakarta for the first time for my university, I was crying so hard because I was afraid that no classmates will take me in as a friend. And I believed that I was a loser and that I wasn't good enough to be anyone's friend, because I was made to feel like that with my classmates in Indonesia. And I thought it would be the same if I moved to Jakarta, when in reality, it doesn't need to be the same. But I was that terrified that for so many years, even when I was in Jakarta, I closed myself from a lot of people and buried my personality and my hobbies and who I really am. I really buried it deep down south because I was afraid. And I would always tell myself that I can only be myself and show that real personality of Alita if I leave Indonesia. So that's why I was craving for leaving all the time, to realization maybe it is time for me to forgive. And ever since I made that decision, my life has gotten so much better, and I feel happy here, and I've never felt like that before. One thing that I can actually tell you how you find that kind of forgiveness is, it's okay if you go back to those places that hurt you. Going back to places that hurt you will actually make you realize that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was. I mean, for when you were still a child, obviously it was bad, and because of your limited knowledge towards the world. But as you grow older, you know more things, you experience more things. And when you come back to the places that hurt you, you kind of make this forgiveness for yourself and for the people, or for the things that was out of your control. You start to actually feel that it's no longer a big deal. I want you all to remember that forgiveness is actually a trick to open new doors and opportunities for you out there in the world. And you will start to see that you deserve more things than you ever thought you did. So remember, forgiveness is freedom. Okay, thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Much love and have a great weekend. Bye.